tomorrow? Okay, all right, thank you. You're going to do the announcements? You're doing this announcement? Okay. Okay, if you'll start making your way back to the table, Cleve will come on up and give our invocation. All right, make your way back to your tables, please. Thank you. Cleve's going to give our invocation.
Okay. Happy Friday. It's a fabulous Friday, wouldn't you say? Okay, I understand somebody else. I know somebody else is going to be taking care of the joys. So y'all can all be joyful in a minute, but not quite yet, okay? Joys are coming later. Right now, I'm only looking for concerns, other than you'll be hearing more about CC Collie's service will be at Holland Park United Methodist Church on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and we've been kind of talking back and forth about it. We'd love to get a good turnout. I can tell you where CC sat at 9:30 every Sunday morning, about 8 rows back in the main transept area on the left side on the aisle. He was there faithfully, well, probably close to 100 years, I don't know. But but anyway, so why don't we as a club plan on sitting in the what's called the East Transept? Some of y'all not familiar with some of that lingo may go, what does that mean? Is you're walking in the back of the church. If you look on the right side, that happens to be east. There's an area that faces this way from the right side. That's where we'll be sitting. So would love to have you. I hope y'all can make it. Any concerns? No concerns? Nobody's concerned about anything? Everybody's fantastic on this Friday? Okay, let's pray. O Lord, our creator, sustainer, and exhorter to live lives of purpose, we pause in gratitude for the gifts of purpose, for fellowship, for the opportunity to serve. You have formed us for community and entrusted us with work that matters. Steady our hearts, sharpen our minds, that we may be worthy of that trust. In a world often divided by haste and harsh words, teach us the grace of polite civil discourse. Help us to listen before we speak, to serve, to understand before we disagree, strive to understand before we disagree, and to engage with one another, leading with humility and respect. May our conversations be marked by listening, curiosity, courage, and compassion, that truth may be pursued and differences explored. Call us anew to servant leadership. Turn our desire for influence into a willingness to lift up others. Give us the wisdom to see needs clearly, the strength to meet them faithfully, and the joy that comes from placing service above self. Inspire our collaboration so that our shared efforts become more than the sum of our parts. Grant us clarity in deliberation, integrity in decision, and generosity in action to honor you, our Creator, Sustainer, and Exhorter. Amen. Amen. Oh, I get to do the pledge. All right, right hand over left heart. Let's pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now you will know that I am not going to sing, so y'all need to sing real loud. So here we go. Pick it up a little bit. At the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and Play ball.
Before we start with our Happy Bucks today, I would just, in honor of Veterans Day, I would like to ask those of you who are serving or who have served if you would please stand for recognition. Thank you for your service, and if you weren't told after your service, we do appreciate you and welcome home. All right, Happy Bucks. Does anyone have any good news that they'd like to share? I know where this is going.
Where did he go? He was here a moment ago. I know, I set him up. Anybody watch the World Series besides me? No? Nobody watched it? Maybe one of the best World Series of all times. 8th inning of Game 7, I said to my wife, well, our little Dodgers put up a valiant fight, but it looks like we've met a better opponent. And then they had a commercial, and then y'all know what happened after that. So I was going to give him a thank you for.
Well, here he
there
is.
he is. Look who just rejoined us.
Look who just rejoined. Now, what are you badgering me about today? Is it a foot that got slightly raised right off, and we won the World Series? The foot was just, if you recall, it was kind of like this, and he was reaching way out here, and he was obviously safe.
All right, anybody else?
Okay, please.
I'm thankful for Philip, who points out to me that there is yet another church around besides Highland Park United Methodist Church, which is where CC Collie's service will be. And so I will just tell you, it will be at HPUMC. Thank you, Philip.
Very happy today. For every Aggie in the room, my dog got transferred to College Station. Sorry. Thank you, Aggies. Everyone who went to A&M, I appreciate you. My dog got transferred from the vet here to College Station for a pacemaker. He had surgery last night. The surgery was successful. So I'm definitely feeling an appreciation for everyone that wears maroon today. Thank you. It's an awesome school, awesome campus. Everyone was very nice to my mom and my little sister. Yeah.
Well, many of you know that I've spoken to you recently or seen me online that I just launched a new personal brand project, and I have an opportunity to go to Naples, Florida this next week to do the official launch at a business event that I'm speaking at. So hopefully the traveling part of it will cooperate with connecting flights and everything, but I'm looking forward to that and to getting back and being officially launched.
Okay, how about guests? If you have a guest with you, or if it's you are a guest, if you could please rise so we could recognize you.
Hello again. This is my friend, Bob Doviak. If you can't guess, he does Christmas lights, but he also has several other businesses. A couple of fun facts about Bob. He moved to Highland Park the year I was born, so take a guess how long he's lived here. And he's also lived all over the world. He grew up all over the world. His parents were in the oil business, so interesting guy. Come and say hello to us, please.
Any other guests? All right. Well, thank you for joining us. All right, and next we have Jack Carpenter.
Hello, everybody. Quick, Mark, what's a better number than 22? 85. Hey, Greg, what's a better number than 22? 85. How about Elmer? What's a better number than 22? 85. You're all right. Good job, guys. We're currently at 22% participation on our fundraising for our foundation. For those who have not yet made a contribution, please do so. We ask for a $100 contribution. So either do it during your birth month or not. A little update for you. We've now raised over $9,000 since July, and that means over 28 of you have now contributed, so thank you. For the others who have yet to contribute, we thank you in advance. So we thank you for your support of a very important foundation, okay? So remember, let's thrive at 85. Now, let's celebrate our birthdays. We got 3 here that have got candles. Please stand up and let's sing happy birthday. So we got Lee, we got Cub, and we got Bob. Come on, stand up, gentlemen. There you go. Anybody else have a birthday in November? Please stand. If not, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Collie and Bob. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, Mark Neese with our Marketplace Advertiser.
All right, just a little quick housekeeping. We do still have spots available for the Marketplace Advertiser. If you look on the back of your hub, there should be one on every table. You'll see all of our current Marketplace Advertisers on there. We do still have spots open. We do still sell spots all the way through the year. So if you're interested in being recognized on the hub and from the front of the room, occasionally throughout the year, please see me and we'll make sure that we get you on there. So our Marketplace Advertiser for today is Kathy Wall, State Farm. She's your local State Farm agent, proudly serving Highland Park, University Park, and the surrounding Dallas area. In her 32 years as a State Farm agent, Kathy has built an insurance agency team of 16 dedicated professionals. Her team has more than 150 years of combined experience to help customers with service and claims. Kathy and her team offer a range of insurance and financial services, including auto, home, life, health, bank, annuities, and even pet insurance, which I have. As a small business owner herself, Kathy and her team work with many small business owners with needs for their business. They believe in the power of relationships, so give Kathy a call to discuss the safety of your future. You are her priority, so call Kathy Wall on Lovers Lane. She can't wait to serve you, and let's all please thank Kathy for her continued support of the club by being a Marketplace Advertiser. Thank you. I also have another announcement. As we mentioned before, and several of you have attended, our Rotary District has a quarterly business networking happy hour. That's coming up this next week on Tuesday as well. So I'm going to go to CC Collie's service, and then I'm going to head up and go to the Rotary Means Business Happy Hour. It's up on the tollway at 12 Cuts, Brazilian Steakhouse in Addison from 5 to 7. So there'll be Rotarians from all over the district, as well as hopefully a lot of non-Rotarians. We try to promote it by saying that if you aren't doing business with a Rotarian, you should be, because we do business the right way. So come and bring a couple of guests. So we'll see you there.
All right, now it's our raffle, and Richard was our lucky gentleman last week. He won and very kindly donated his share back to the foundation. So how much in total, Lori, was it? $740 went to our foundation. So thank you, Richard. We appreciate that. All right, Darin, we ask our speaker to pull a ticket.
Yeah, Richard stole our money.
$45. Okay, it's 4331. 4331. Come on up.
I won!
Oh.
Hey, he's a truthful Texas A&M young man.
All right. Oh, now.
A king, so you guys get to keep winning.
All right, well, there's one less card in the deck. We start again all over. All right, so Jim is going to talk to us about Meals on Wheels.
I'm here to give an update on our Meals on Wheels committee. My name is Jim Weichel, and I have the privilege of chairing the Meals on Wheels committee for our club. This might be one of the best kept secrets of our club. So I wanted to share a few highlights about the wonderful program and our long-standing involvement. Meals on Wheels, number one, provides hot, nutritious, freshly prepared meals 5 days a week to Dallas County residents who are unable to obtain or prepare meals themselves due to illness, advanced age, or disability. Our club's partnership with Meals on Wheels began in 1990, 35 years ago. The relationship was initiated by members Drew Young and Scott Taylor, both of whom have passed away, but their legacy continues to make a meaningful impact today. Doug Means was part of the original delivery team, and he still delivers today. And not only does he deliver meals for our club, but he delivers other routes as well. So, Doug, thank you. Our club currently delivers along the Casa Linda route 4 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We don't deliver on Fridays because we're here. But right now, the ask is we currently have 6 open volunteer slots, and we would love to have additional members to our group. If you are interested, and I'll also add, it usually takes, I run, a couple of routes every month, and it usually takes about an hour. There's 10 stops, you pick up the meals, you deliver them. It's really a nice way to have engagement with our community. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Doug Means, Philip Bankhead, Karen Ferris, Fred Brown, any of the members that are currently on the committee. And together, we can continue this incredible legacy of service and community care. Thank you.
A couple of weeks ago, Agape Clinic had their gala, and they presented Fred to this plaque that says thank you for our grant out of our foundation, just an appreciation for our relationship with Agape, and we'll give it to Lori, and she can put it in our office. So just an acknowledgement from Agape about our partnership and how appreciative they are of it. All right, so upcoming service opportunities. Shoe drive. So Eric is here collecting shoes, so if you want to clean out your closet, any type of shoes, kids' shoes, adult shoes, work shoes, dress shoes, tennies, anything, he'll take them. Even combat boots, and it's for Souls for Souls, nonprofit that he's collecting for. Then on November the 22nd, we have Scottish Rite popcorn stuffing event. That's from 9 to 11 a.m. And put this on your calendar because we are all part of this committee, is the December 12th program planning meeting at 6:30, or December 2nd, December 2nd, the program planning meeting at 6:30, and it's actually at Richard's house, which is on 3725 Turtle Creek. This Sunday, hope to see you there. We are touring the National Medal of Honor Museum in honor of Veterans Day, and Happy told me that we had a little over 30 people sign up, so that's a really good social outing for our club. You have to pay Happy in advance, so if you haven't done that, please reach out to her. And as a reminder, on November the 28th, we are not here because we are off for Thanksgiving that week. And so now I'll turn it over to the chair of the day, Herb, if you would like to come up and tell us about our speaker.
Thank you, President Sarah. As you all know, Tuesday, November 11th is Veterans Day, and that is the day that our nation recognizes the men and women who have served in the armed forces, the men and women that have kept us safe, the men and women who have carried the load for us. Our speaker today is a longtime colleague and friend of mine. Darin Klemchuk and I practiced law together at Thompson & Knight for many years until Darin left and formed his own IP firm, Klemchuk LLP. Darin was in the Oregon National Guard during the Gulf War. He has been involved in Carry the Load since 2012, and he sits on the management committee of the national organization. I cannot think of a more appropriate topic for the Friday before Veterans Day than a program about Carry the Load. So please join me in welcoming Darin Klemchuk.
Well, welcome. I actually have a PowerPoint presentation I put together, but you guys look like such a fun group. Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now? All right. I have a PowerPoint presentation that we put together, but you look like such a fun group. I'm going to switch gears and go with a kind of a picture show and tell of I took pictures for 11 years at the Memorial May Carry the Load event, which is the big event that happens in Dallas every year. And I'm going to kind of walk you through the human experience of Carry the Load. But before we get started, just by show of hands, how many people are familiar with Carry the Load? Okay. All right, great. I'm going to focus on the pictures then. All right. Does anybody know the history of Memorial Day and how it got started? Anyone? One. Okay, so anyone know following what war Memorial Day was created? Sir? What's that? Yes, the Civil War. So the Memorial Day stretches back well over 100 years. Purpose of Memorial Day is to commemorate those who have given their all, essentially. Veterans Day is those who served. Memorial Day is who's given their all. Okay, so the purpose of Carry the Load, when it was founded in 2011 by two retired Navy SEALs here in Dallas, was to put the word memorial back into Memorial Day weekend, to have it to be something more than barbecues, beers, and get-togethers, so we can remember those who actually gave their all. Can we play that video, please?
We're having memory issues on that computer.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's not going to play. The Anthem didn't play either.
Got it. Is there a possibility to put the pictures up?
Yeah, we have the pictures. It's just
Okay.
the memory isn't keeping up. The computer memory isn't keeping up. It probably still won't. Just put the pictures up. Sorry.
No worries. All right, we'll shift fire. It's okay. So Carry the Load was founded by two Navy SEALs, Clint Bruce and Stephen Holly. They both served on SEAL Team 5, which is a West Coast SEAL team. Holly and I are pretty good friends. He introduced me to Carry the Load in 2000, following the 2011 Carry the Load. So I started in 2012 with our middle kid. Our son was about 7 or 8 years old. It started at Reverchon Park, which is the huge fundraiser. We raise anywhere from $1 to $3 million a year for various charities. So Carry the Load is a little bit similar to the Rotary Club in that it's a funder of funders. So it raises millions of dollars through all of its programs, and then it distributes it to its charitable partners. Okay. So in 2012 was my first Carry the Load experience with my little one. He was about 7, and the way that Carry the Load works is there's a loop that you walk to commemorate. And it's about 3.5 miles from Reverchon Park up the Katy Trail, and then you come back another 3.5 miles. It's a 7-miler round trip. And he's 7, and it happened to be one of those hot Memorial Day weekends when it was like 101. And my plan of going to Carry the Load was just to show up and kind of do some loops and look at the events, and maybe he gets on the zip slide. We have a food truck, hot dog, and go home. Well, he's committed. So we're doing this thing, and as we're doing it, as a dad, I'm calculating that every step forward is really 2 steps, because every time we go up the trail, we got to come back down the trail, and at some point, he's going to tap out on the heat, and then as dad, I'm going to have to probably carry the guy back to the thing. So good news is, we survived, and that was kind of my introduction to Carry the Load, and so I've done Carry the Load every year since 2012. About 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago, I got on the management committee, and I took over what's called the Overwatch team, which is security for the event. So Carry the Load's a 2-day event here in Dallas, the Memorial May event, and we typically have upwards of 10,000 people attend this event in about a 26-hour period of time. And so it's a lot of people at Reverchon Park in a relatively short period of time. And so as kind of head of security, there's a lot of things that go on, and I'll walk you through that as we go through these pictures. But first, Stephen Holly, good friend of mine, he's a commercial real estate broker in town. Clint Bruce owns Trident Response Group, and he does a bunch of other things, including speaking. I'd love to tell you what Trident Response Group does. It's really kind of mysterious. A lot of guys with tattoos and beards on their website, so they do security work and other things. And I don't know what the other things are, and they kind of shift around. But if you are ever looking for a team building event and you want to have fun, Trident Response Group, one of the services they offer is called edutainment. And so you can go in there, and they have like this room to the side called the Ready Room, and they outfit you with a Beretta 9mm that shoots a thing called it's called simunition. So it's like a paint pellet. So it has a recoil, it has a bang, and it shoots this paint pellet. So you get trained to hit targets kind of in a fun, safe environment. It's not a real bullet. And then once everybody's comfortable with hitting targets at relatively close distances, you go in 2-man or 2-person operations, and you go next door to they have a safe house it's like a maze of different rooms in corridors, and so you work as a 2-person team to go clear a safe house. And so you go running into the room. The first person has to shoot any bad guys to the left, and then the guy behind him shoots all the bad guys to the right, and then you can't kill the hostages. So they have like friendlies and bad guys, and you get graded. And so some people get really adrenaline fueled during these things, and you get to a situation where it's no longer a hostage crisis because they've shot everything in the room, including every friendly. So I highly recommend it. It is a really, really fun team building event, and that's Clint Bruce. But Clint Bruce also has another claim to fame, and he told me the story, but I actually had a chance to verify it, and it's true. So at the time he went through BUDS, so these guys met at the Naval Academy, I believe. Clint left the Naval Academy, had a stint playing pro football, including the Baltimore Ravens. He then went to BUDS. Here's the amazing, first of all, surviving BUDS is amazing what you have to do to get through that. But Clint, when he attended Hell Week, weighed, I think, between 220 and 230, maybe 240. Like, he was a linebacker, college linebacker turned pro linebacker who then went to BUDS. So he has the distinction of being the largest human being ever to make it through BUDS. Now, he told me that story like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I happened to tour. I got this really great deal where I got to tour the SEAL base in Coronado, and I asked some of the instructors that were there because I was just curious what they would say. Well, apparently that's a very true story, but since then, an even bigger enlisted guy got through BUDS. So Clint has the current record holder as the largest commissioned officer to survive BUDS, and he's a heck of a great guy. So these 2 guys founded it. It was based on they were just carrying some wounds from their experience, and they were kind of walking around White Rock Lake, and as the story goes, Clint ran into a World War II vet who took one look at him and just said, who are you carrying, or what are you carrying? And then Carry the Load came out of that. So it started in White Rock Lake in 2011, and it's now Reverchon Park about 14 years later, coming next year. So it's been a absolute smashing success. And if we go let's just go to the pictures because I'm short on time. All right, so as head of security at Carry the Load, we've got, as I mentioned, 5,000 to 10,000 people, relatively short period of time. And one of the things that peculiarly makes this a difficult security situation is that the Carry the Load event inside the park is a concealed carry event. So like when you go to a concert or TSA, there's a main gate with bag checking, and so there's a hired security that checks everyone's bag, but it's a concealed carry event. So it's people are allowed to walk in potentially with a weapon in a bag. So that one right there causes a little bit of potential tension around that. But what makes it even harder is outside of the park, because carry load essentially licenses the park for this event. On the Katy Trail, it's open carry because it's part of the state of Texas. And so you have people with open carry that sometimes want to get into a concealed carry event. And so I've been there with the, he's slinging an AR-15, or I can see the 45 on his hip, and you have to kind of navigate that conversation about, hey, sir, you're within your rights to open carry in the park, but we just ask that you respect carry load and the fact that this is a concealed carry. We don't allow open carry. So that's a bit of a tricky thing to navigate sometimes, because as you know, that a lot of the carry the load sponsors are there to help that suffering from PTSD or other trauma. And so encountering a person on the trail with an obvious weapon who wants to get into an event that doesn't allow that is a bit of a security challenge. So that's number one. Number two, Rivershine Park is a pretty good sized park. So we have a main entrance with the security gate, and then we have, and you can kind of see pieces of that in that image right there. And then there's another gate where the kickoff march happens. We kind of start the event with this kickoff march. It's like kind of like a fun run if you've ever been to a 5K. So it's like it's a little over a 1 to 2 mile loop. So it's an easy one to just to walk out and come back in. And there's usually several thousand people or hundreds of people that do that. And then there's an exit entrance on the actual Katy Trail. So people that go up the Katy Trail, they do the 3.5 miles up, and then they come back, and then they can get back into the park. So we've got 3 entrances essentially. So those are all manned with security. And so Overwatch, which is the committee I lead, we're kind of roaming security, and we're also diplomats. So we try to make we smooth everything over in case something happens. But at the same time, it starts typically 3 o'clock on Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and then we close it out around noon. So it's a 20-hour kind of relay type of event. So so for that entire 20 hours plus the time before and after it, we're very watchful for security issues, and we have to watch those 3 entrances. Go to the next picture. So one of the it's turned sideways, but one of the interesting parts is that when we do the kickoff, so we have the main event, and then there's everyone starts the kickoff event, the kickoff walk, is we have hundreds to 1,000 people walk out of a different entrance to the park, on Maple, and then they walk back in, but they don't go through any security gates because there's like 1,000 of them all trailing in. And so from a security perspective, we have like police officers lined up, but we're kind of keeping a watchful eye on that whole thing. And so for me, that's the most stressful part of the entire weekend. Is we've never had an issue at any point in the 11 years at the park, but I've always kind of been worried about that particular when they walk back in, because nobody's been checked and nobody's gone through security. But that's an essential part of it. So after the kickoff happens, then the 20-hour relay starts. And so one of the competitions that happens is who can do the most miles and the most laps during that 20-hour period. And what's amazing to me, and we've got different divisions like adult, youth, male, female, is that there's this one, she started as a girl, and I think maybe like age 14, she had won the most either laps or miles of anybody, like beating all the like alpha male, ex-special forces guys. She was just a beast out there, and she would just kind of just go. And I think the moment it started, she started, and she just didn't stop for the full 20 hours. It's really super impressive that somebody can do that, particularly somebody at that age. Can I get the next picture? Okay, we can go to the next one, please. Gosh, now these things are all turned sideways. Okay, so I'm sorry about the AV here, so I'm just gonna free for it. So that picture, which you can't really see because it's turned 90 degrees, that is a image of the back of the main stage at Carry the Load. And so, has anybody seen the movie Heartbreak Ridge by any chance? You guys all know that? Okay, so this was a Heartbreak Ridge operation I ran last year. So behind the, you can see like the stone walkway. So in Reverchon Park, there's a ravine, and then there's like a kind of a creek at the bottom of the ravine, and there's a bridge, and so there's a staging ground down there. But as I mentioned earlier, that's not one of the three entrances to the park. It's a hidden area, and there's bamboo on both sides of it. So when you're working security, it's really tough to see down inside there. And so I was trying to convince the team that we needed to put some surveillance or some like a station down there to watch it, but nobody really listened to me. So my Heartbreak Ridge operation was last year. I went down there, and then I had to get into I got like totally muddy and wet. I got all the way through the creek. Then I had to scale up this wall with my backpack on, and I eventually, next slide. I eventually got to the VIP area for the main stage, and that guy and then I got my picture taken. So that's the guy that's the head of the entire event. And I got my picture taken unmolested. Nobody asked me anything. I was able to get all the way into the VIP area through that entrance that I was trying to push them on security. So hopefully this year we'll change that. All right, next one. All right, so Carry the Load is a family-friendly event. So this is my 7-year-old when we first went there in 2011. He is graduating from UT in May. He's aged a little bit over the course of this. He'll be a computer science engineer when he gets out. Next slide. And then that's our daughter. Let me just go to the next slide. So part of, this is not just the local event. So we have I think it's 5 relays. So there's like Seattle, Minneapolis. It started in New York. And so we come from various areas all the way up north. And they take a bus like that, and then they merge in Dallas. And so when I think there's 5 now. So when all 5 merge in Dallas, the flag is presented, and then the Dallas Memorial May kickoff starts. So it's really, really impressive to watch. The Boy Scouts bring out that flag. We've got these 5 relays kind of coalesce in one area. So one of the ways you guys could get involved, if you've never done this before, is to participate in one of the national relays. I've always wanted to do it. The month of May is like the worst month for me, like work-wise, so I haven't been able to do it yet. But I'd love to be able to get on one of these buses. And what they do is the West Coast bikes a fair amount, but a lot of the other areas they walk. And so they walk through cemeteries, and they walk through small towns, and they plant flags, and it's a really, really meaningful experience. Next slide. Okay, another one turned sideways. So this is a sad one. So as I said, the first one was 2012, and as I was going through my pictures for today's event, I took pictures of every event from 2012 through 2025, and that number had increased dramatically over 13 years, and that's the count of fatalities during Gulf 1, Gulf 2, or Gulf 2, I guess. It's really sad, and so everyone that died as a result of that has a flag planted on the field of Reverchon Park where we all remember their sacrifice. Yep. Okay. So these placards, or they're called memory boards or placards, are they're written to memorialize someone that lost, gave their all. And so it's typically either military or first responders. So there's a number of police and fire placards that are out there, and there are, I believe, into the thousands of placards that decorate inside the park. During the kickoff walk is another area, and then all the way at the start of the Katy Trail March, and then fully 3.5 miles north, there's placards all along that. And so if you have somebody who you'd like to memorialize, there's a way to fill out a form and have that submitted to Carry the Load, and they honor them. So this is actually a friend of mine that we lost in 2022. Unfortunately, it's sideways, you can't read it, but it's Master Chief Crampton. We called him Cramps. He was a 33-year Navy SEAL, Bronze Star winner. We lost him in 2022. So his wife and I wrote that placard. So we got that put up. We got that submitted, and it got approved last year. Next slide. And then this is also a common thing where you put on your rucksack a picture of who you're memorializing, or basically whose load you're carrying. And you'll see when you go out there, if you've been there, there are lots of people remembering lots of those that have given their lives, including even sometimes you'll see World War II vets that are being remembered, and they typically bring out a World War II era speaker to speak at the main event, although this is becoming really difficult at this point because there aren't many World War II vets left. All right, next slide. All right, so this is me, and I found cramps last year. It took me quite a while to find him because there's hundreds of these placards, but I eventually found him and took that picture with him. Okay, this is my favorite picture of Cramps, and you can't, so Cramps is the guy in the cowboy hat you can't see his face because he's looking away from you. But the guy that he's talking to is a Navy SEAL that served with him, years ago. But you can see the image of Cramps in that guy's smile. That guy served underneath Cramps, and we just randomly ran into each other I was with Cramps, and he randomly ran into that guy during Carry the Load, and it was really amazing to me to watch the emotional reaction that the junior person had to seeing Cramps. All right, so this is the last slide, and then we'll go to questions. This one's a bit of it's going to come across a little bit like a downer, but it's really the human part of Carry the Load, and it's not something. This is not something I can do with a PowerPoint. I doubt I can even tell you a story that's as powerful as this. So this is a true story. So I was doing one of my night patrols, probably 2018, I think. So this is well after midnight on the Katy Trail. At that time, it's really, really quiet because the crowds have died down. You just see a lot of people that are just, you can just, by looking at them, tell they're carrying a lot of heartache, and they're just kind of walking it off on the trail over and over again in the middle of the night. And so for this one's a tough one because I was blessed to happen to walk by this couple right when this happened. But this is it's a mother-father couple, and I think they were from Florida, not 100% on that. But this is the moment that they found their son. They looked all day long, and I just happened to be the guy. And they asked me to take this picture for them. And to me, this is what it's about. All right, sorry to end it on that downer, but that's really what Carry the Load is about. So, okay. All right, so I'd like to move to questions. Who's got a question?
First of all, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much for committing your life to this conversation. It's not an easy conversation to have. How can we help on social media? What are things that we can do to? I've never heard of this. I have 2 emergency rooms, and we're very passionate about mental health. We're the only emergency rooms that offer 24-hour mental health. We also have a rock and roll band that we play on the Katy Trail all the time. Our doctors have a rock and roll band. So
yeah.
I feel like there's things that we can do that I don't know. Like, how do I talk about this? How do I promote this?
There's lots of ways to get involved. At least, the Memorial Day event's the big one, but they have a program that goes year round. So in fact, I think next week we kick off the 100,000 kilometer, the movement event, trying to get 100,000 kilometers. So that's kind of like a November, December fundraiser. But you can just go to Carry the Load and sign up for those events. Social media is a great way to promote this. You can sign up to have your own team, or you can join a team. You're welcome to join our team if you'd like to join a team. You don't have to go out there and suffer like we do for 35, 40 miles, nonstop. You don't need to do that, but just going to the event and going to the opening ceremony is incredibly powerful to watch. And there's also a series of tents like right in the middle of the area where all the like the charity sponsors are. And you mind if I can't make eye contact with her.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry, thanks. Yeah, you can donate money. You can sign. I mean, I think just going and social media are probably the best two things. And then all their kind of charity partners that are there, you can peruse their tents and get involved with them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just carrytheload.org. Just go to that. They've got a great website. They promote it. I'd start there. Yep.
And will it show when the opening ceremony is?
So I'd love to say for all you detailed people out there, yes, but it flexes a little bit sometimes. So it's typically between 3 and 4 on Sunday. It's always the Sunday before Memorial Day. The exact time of the opening ceremony sometimes shifts a little bit, but generally it's between 3 and 4.
Okay. Now I live down in that area, and I notice up and down Turtle Creek, and it doesn't seem like it's just Memorial Day. Sometimes it seems like at other times. But for those who can't go, drive down Turtle Creek in the proximity of that. And I don't know if you're like me, but every once in a while I'll run into somebody that I went to school with. It just tells you the immensity of the sacrifice. And I'll let you answer questions, but Jackie Perry in my class, we graduated in 67, he died in 68. I remember Jackie like it was yesterday, been dead almost 60 years. He has a plaque. Bobby Shipp, I went to elementary school with 6 years. Police officer killed in the line of duty. So you do have police officers. Every once in a while you will run into somebody you knew and you'll think, I haven't thought about them in a long time. So anyway, but questions, other questions?
First question is, are there any other cities that are having the Memorial Day event and the walk? I know you mentioned there was the bus tour thing, but I didn't know if there was any other cities that are actually having the same kind of event that we're having in Dallas. Second question is, who are the charitable partners that y'all raise money for, and how do y'all decide? Does that change every year? Do people apply for a grant? It's the same 5 and you split it 5 ways? How does that part work as well?
Okay, first question, there are other cities. We're trying to spread it across the United States. Obviously started in Dallas. I'm not sure. It's, again, on the Carry Load website, we'll show you which cities have or have now started Memorial May events. I don't know them off the top of my head. Your second question was? The
charitable partners.
Charitable
how y'all
partners.
choose who to give the money to? Does that change every year? Or is it
This is really, this is one of the things I really like about Carry the Load is that you have to apply to be a charitable partner, and then you have to earn your way in before you get money. And so what one of the charitable partners that I helped was a group called the Courage Foundation out of San Diego. And so they had to sign up with Carry the Load and did, I think, 2 or 3 years of pretty intensive promotion, participation, Memorial May, the relays, raising money, and then eventually they got accepted. There's a committee that decides that, which ones are awarded actual cash from the event or not. And I want to say it's probably 20 to 30 or more. There's quite a few of these charities that are funded through Carry the Load. Quite a few. That's it. All right, I got 4 minutes. Thanks. Hey, appreciate it.
Darin, thank you for being here today. And in your honor, we place a book in a local elementary school to thank our speakers. So thank you for being here today. So during the meeting, Mark and I are texting back and forth, and we've decided we're going to divide our strategic planning up into team hunger, team health and wellness, and team leadership. And we're going to do is training. It'll be a combat version of strategic planning. We'll see how that goes. No, I'm just kidding. But Happy texted me during the meeting, and she said that she had 3 people sign up who can't go on Sunday, but they've paid, so they're donating their tickets. So there's 3 senior tickets available. So if you want to go to the do the Medal of Honor Museum tour, just flag me down afterwards, and I'll let Happy know who's going to accept the 3 free tickets. All right, so next week's speaker is Larry Webb, past District Governor Larry Webb with the Rotary Foundation, and the chair of the day is past President Greg Pape. And now the four-way test, Clement George.
Everyone could please stand and join me for the four-way test. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a great weekend.
Okay, so Bill. Okay, so. Okay, so you're coming?
I will bring Bill.
Okay, so, but do you already have a ticket, I guess? Is it one ticket or two tickets
I
you're
didn't
asking
buy
for?
any tickets. I wasn't planning to come, but I wanted to get the ticket to Bill.
Okay, so it's a senior ticket. So is he a senior? Okay. All right, so you're gonna bring him and
I will
attend?
bring him if you want me to.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Perfect.
But I need to know if you need to get a ticket is what I'm asking.
I can get a ticket.
Okay, so I'll tell Happy that, so you're gonna buy one, and Bill Brandt's gonna take the free one, right? Okay, all right, thanks, Jack.
And I can let Bill know it's for the club.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, all right. Hey, Jamie.
I'll see you tomorrow.
So we had 0 students who signed up and paid who can't make it. So would you like to? Okay, so you're going to take one of them? Okay. Yeah, just show up. So let's see what. And what time was it? Yeah, 3 to 5. And so, yeah. Yeah, I assume we're just going to meet in the lobby. I assume we're just going to meet in the lobby and have our tickets and things like that. All right. It was like a cricket. Nobody else got it though, Mark, and I thought it was funny. So you want to just buy the computer?
Yes.
I know
I'm going to go online today. And,
he's been warning us for a couple,
Yep.
Board
this
meetings.
past week it started getting really bad. It's with me, because I'll do work sometimes also from home on it as well. And I started noticing this week, and then the other day Max looked at it and he's like, "Do you realize that?" Well, Max looked at it and he's like, "Did you know that the battery's like bulging out of the So yeah." He's like, "Isn't that a fire hazard?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably is." Yes. So,
yeah, you might want to get rid of that. Yeah, get it.
The fruit I'm bringing tomorrow in case you want it for other fruit.
Yes, yeah. So I'm trying to remember what you're bringing bananas and what else? Orange or tangerines or next.
There's a lot more than
I'll probably bring like watermelon or something like that.
Unless you want to take one out.
No, that's okay. I'll bring watermelon, some other kind of melon. And then we'll have a nice